Hey.
Yes, sir.
I'm saying hey because this is going to be very interesting. This is going to be a very interesting episode of the AMATYMA series. I'm sitting with Roberto and Ronny.
Yes,
now,
sir.
these are the guys that actually produce the AMATYMA series. These are the guys that make sure that everything goes according to plan, and that when the guests arrive, the cameras are set up and the studio is ready and looking as good as it does. Is it working today? I need to make sure. Okay, shout out. So we decided to do a different version of AMATYMA series because I just feel like the three of us get to see different men coming through into studio every Monday, and as you know, the nature of the show is that there's no topic, and I just want to get to understanding from your side, like, what does it feel like to be on the other side and you're listening to these men and you're watching what happens? I mean, you guys have got your own signature show on Bogart Radio anyway. So today you are the guests.
Feels weird to sit on the side, right?
Yeah. I remember the first time. I remember the first time I came to Bogart Radio. I was a guest, and you guys were interviewing me. Look how the tables are turned. In life, you never know. And I just want to tell our viewers that the two of you have been for the longest time avoiding this, and I don't know why you guys have been avoiding this. I told them when I put you on the spot. Yeah, you are the first guys that are here behind the scenes, and now we get to talk to you. So welcome, Ronny.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, Roberto.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. So just for those who don't know, I'm sure a lot of the people know who you guys are, but just introduce yourselves.
Yeah, I'm cool, man. I'm gonna start, man. Well, you already know Ronny J. Driz, extraordinary DJ. Every morning on Bogart, man. Bogart Radio.
Shout out.
Yeah, it feels funny to say that.
It's like you're selling yourself, right?
Yeah, now it's like, this feels like my show. But yeah, man, I do run the radio. I'm the director of Bogart Radio as well. And I do a couple of other things, man. I'm a DJ, a voiceover artist. I'm a lot.
Nice. Shout out to you, bro, for being so multi-talented.
I try.
Roberto.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Also, very similar to Ronny. A lot of talent flows through the blood. At the moment, of course, I'm creative director for Bogart, man. Assistant manager of the radio station too. Alongside with that, I've tried my hand in entrepreneuring and a big sports fanatic. So everything sports, any question, anything sports, please come to me.
What kind of sports? What kind of sports?
Everything except for golf. I know it's going to hurt you.
I was about to put you on the spot and say what's the longest drive.
But I do know what a birdie is, though.
That's easy. That's easy. Now. So welcome, gents. I think it's refreshing for me.
Before we go, I think you need to invite us to the golf.
You need to you gotta go for lessons
play
first.
golf, man.
Lessons.
I know it's okay. I think I know how to play. I watched it on YouTube.
It's not that
I
easy.
watch tutorials.
No. You're confusing golf with tennis. Okay. It's not the same. It's not the same. So for me, it's quite exciting to have a chat with you guys. The two guys who are the front runners in terms of running Bogart Radio. You guys are running a successful online radio station, and shout out to you for that. Actually,
thank you, sir. Thank you.
I was checking out the numbers, and it's doing quite well. And you guys are the reason why I actually have a collaboration with Bogart Radio and the AMATYMA series, and you guys, have been so supportive through this journey of us, putting the show together. It's not an easy show to put together, as you would imagine. There's no script. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't even know if the guys are going to pitch. There's one guest that dropped us because of whatever personal reasons they had. So we got to roll with the punches at times and understand that we have to be flexible with the show. But let's just get into it. The AMATYMA series, as you guys know, is really about these conversations with men who are single, married, divorced, and widowed. Whether you've got a child or not doesn't really matter. Do you guys have kids, by the way?
I had a boy. He passed on.
Oh,
just 3 months.
Sure.
And
my condolences, man.
Oh, it's okay.
So he was 3 months old when he passed away.
Yeah.
Sure. Do you want to talk about it, or you?
No. Yeah. I mean, I'm free, man.
Yeah.
I've watched a couple of men. Like, I actually wanted to touch, like you said, there's a lot of men that we watch come through here.
Yeah.
And I want to be honest. I didn't think there would be so many stories.
Sure.
Different ones.
Yeah.
And different experiences, different characters, different things that there's a lot of things that affect men out there.
Sure.
And watching the men come here and express those things here, it actually changed my mindset about what is going on out there and the movement we're actually doing here.
Yeah.
When I started when I saw you're saying you started the AMATYMA series, and I was like, no, probably it's gonna be like the same old thing.
Same like all the other.
But I've watched over 10 episodes, and over like a lot. In each and everything, it's a unique situation or story.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
That's what it's about, though.
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't want to lie.
And when I said to you guys, I want to have an unscripted show, I'm sure you were like, it's crazy. How can you run a show without a topic?
Yeah, imagine all 30 minutes, all hour of just
not knowing
what
you want to talk about. But that's the hook.
Exactly. Yes, and I didn't know because it's unscripted, because that's what brings out all the stories.
True.
All the different experiences.
Sure. I think to add on to that, even when you're inviting some of the guests to come onto your show, you know, I always have this thought in the back of my head, thinking, should I tell this person what they're coming in for, or should I tell? How do I prepare them for the show? Because I mean, you don't know. I can't tell you prepare for these kind of questions because you don't know what kind of questions.
I don't even know myself until the guy's sitting across, and I think you guys have noticed that when the guests come here, I try and avoid them. Because I don't want to start conversating with them off camera, because by the time you get on camera, the juice is gone. And you, Roberto, do you have any kids?
No. I'd like to say fortunately not yet.
Why is it fortunately? You're making some of us feel bad.
No. You guys are experienced campaigners. I think I'm also
experienced campaigners. Did you hear that? Shout out to the experienced campaigners.
You know, on my side, it's been I tend to look at it as a progress. I grew up in a non-nuclear family.
Sure.
So in that environment, I've learned various lessons from those with and without kids. And the one lesson I've taken away from it is to always plan for such things.
Absolutely.
A child is not a piece of cake in its literal form. You know, it has to go through planning. The planning is not from 1 to 5 years old. It's from 1 to 21 years old.
Absolutely.
So within that, I've sat down. I've considered the process. I've considered the person to have it. That's another important criteria to consider. So I am still in the consideration process. I haven't concluded as yet. Also in that consideration, there's a lot of maturity that I have to go through myself as well before I decide do I want to bring this person in the life that I'm living right now. Not that I consider myself a child, but I mean I am.
But you're responsible for them too.
100%. So I need to make sure I'm responsible for myself, for my significant other, and of course for the third party I bring into the world. At the moment, I'm practicing with the cat. I've got a cat, so so far.
This guy's practicing to be a father with a cat. Hey, shout out to you for that. But what you're saying, Roberto, is very important. I don't know if you guys remember the episode we had with DJ Savvy, and he spoke about how they prepared for the coming of his son, how they actually planned it. And a lot of people, we don't do that. Sometimes it's just a mistake. Sometimes it's just one of those things that, okay, we're here now. We might as well. But no one has actually come through, besides DJ Savvy, and spoken about how they've actually consciously planned to say, I'm ready now. Now is the time. So shout out to you for that, bro. So, Ronny, I just want to come back to what you said earlier on, man. I want to talk about the process of loss. You know, losing a child is something that can't be easy. It doesn't matter whether the child was 3 months, 1 month. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you had planned to bring this beautiful gift into the world, and now it gets taken away from you. Like, what do you say to a guy out there that is currently going through what you've gone through in terms of losing a child at the tender age of 3 months?
One thing I can tell you, it's very important to speak about it. It's very important to speak about it, because if you don't speak about it, hey man,
you carry it.
It will damage you inside.
Sure.
And I'm very grateful that I had people around me that explained this thing to me and say, look, this is happening. I personally didn't want to speak about it.
Sure.
And because of that, I learned that no, you need to speak about it, because it will affect you in ways that you don't.
Because you start overreacting to situations.
You even start to react to things that you don't know that this is the cause of that.
Oh, I see.
That's where the danger is.
Sure.
Because I was fortunate enough that I also had my father, I had my brothers, especially Rob was there as well.
Right.
It's something that you need to speak about first. That's the first thing.
Sure.
And to me, it was kind of like a situation where it was even because I wanted to be the Superman
Yeah.
to the mother.
And be
Because
everything
I
to
can't-
everybody.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But yourself.
Yeah.
But myself. So
Sure.
also the mother, first 2-3 months, obviously I had to be like, no, I had to be there. I have to
Yeah.
be there for her.
Yeah.
You know, because she was going through it. Like, because I saw how she broke down,
Sure.
and I could see, like, to myself. So I didn't look at me.
Yeah. It
I
broke
didn't-
you to
yes.
see her the way she was.
Yes. the
But
way
you
she
were
was.
breaking inside as
When I was
well.
breaking inside, but I
Yeah.
didn't realize it. I was just
Yeah.
like, no, it's me. I'm totally cool with it. I don't know how I'm gonna handle this. And like I said, I had people around me
Sure.
who like counseled me and said, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
These things
These
happen.
things happen, yeah.
You know, you can always do A, B, C, D. Because let me explain to you why this was so important.
Sure.
So in my family, my mother and my father,
Yeah.
we are about 7,
Okay.
and I'm the only boy,
All right.
and I'm the last born.
Sure.
So my father's side, he's got about 9 children, and still I'm the only boy.
Sure. Yo.
Yeah.
Shout out to being the only boy. Yo.
And the last born.
Yo.
So so now in my head, everyone obviously was happy. So you can imagine when this boy arrived, how it was.
Sure. It was like a blessing.
Yes, he's the one who's going to
It was a boy.
It was a boy.
Sure. What happened? What happened, Ronny?
So, no, it was he had trouble, difficult breathing.
After 3 months.
Yeah, but it was a thing. I think when he was born, he was still in hospital for like 2 weeks,
Okay.
3 weeks.
Okay.
And then obviously the mother took him home, and then the next thing it just came back, and so all this was happening. It was because she went to Germany,
Sure.
and all this was happening in Germany.
In Germany.
Yes.
Sure.
So it wasn't like here. So that's where the worst part is.
Yeah.
So I wasn't with the mother. I wasn't with the son.
Sure,
So
you're not
me, I'm
even there.
prepared. I'm preparing to go there.
So you hadn't met
I hadn't
your
met
son
yet.
yet.
No.
You just saw pictures and
Yes, I had pictures.
Yo.
Only.
damn,
So-
that's hectic.
So in my head, I'm like, she's the one she's alone there.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes she'll
A
say
foreign
something.
country.
The things that she would say, it's insane.
Sure.
Like, you know, because you can tell that this person, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
All you have is words. Imagine. That's
Yeah.
the worst part.
Yeah.
That you are not there. And you know, when they tell, and when she was crying, she was doing all these things, and you know, a person like that can say anything.
Sure. She's not close
Yes.
by. Yeah.
And she's not mentally stable.
Yeah.
You know, so it went on like that. Even the burial, she has to bury this person all by
All by
herself.
herself. So you're not even able to go and bury your own son.
Yeah, I wasn't there. So it was that made me realize and experience to say, look, it's okay to talk about it, because it's got a feeling to it when
Yeah.
when you talk to someone about
Sure.
it.
Sure.
And it does things that you don't even know
Yeah.
that it's doing.
Yeah. It heals without even
Yes.
you realizing that.
So
yeah.
2-3 months down the line, I gotta tell you, man, the behavior, my behavior.
Sure.
Once she was okay, then my behavior was not normal.
Sure.
You know, it wasn't normal. I didn't tell anyone about it, but
Yeah.
the first time I was actually talking about it, because it wasn't normal. And then only after some time, when I realized, like, no, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Because me, I can pick myself up,
Yeah.
work ethic, whatever. If that's being distracted, and then I can tell, no, something's wrong.
Something's not right. Sure.
Something is not right here. And obviously alcohol, everything increased, and I'm like,
Yeah, because now you're seeking solace elsewhere.
but I didn't know. Me, I just thought, I know. I'm
Just
chilling
a normal
with
Just
my
general
guitar.
behavior, just normal.
Yeah, exactly. It's normal, and
Sure.
you know, but everything increased from there. Alcohol intake, just, you know,
Sure.
partying, but I didn't know.
Yeah,
Personally,
because
I
it's,
didn't know.
you're dealing with it
Yes.
in your own way. So when Roberto, how was it like for you to, first of all, when did he tell you? Because you guys, I can see there's a brotherhood that's quite strong between the two of you guys. What was it like for you when he did eventually tell you?
It was heartbreaking. Most so because I've also suffered loss before. Obviously, not loss at such a tender age of his child, but I've lost someone close to me. You know, so being there, I figured that was probably the most important thing I could do.
Sure.
My words would only work as a guide, as almost like a blanket of protection,
comfort
you know,
zone,
like a comfort zone. So that's literally all I could offer, because I mean, knowing the fact that okay, you're already miles and miles away from your own child, you can't do anything about it.
That must be more painful.
That
because
must be more painful.
Yeah.
You're not in a position to
There's
react.
nothing you can do.
You can do nothing at all. All you can. So I mean, he was living on words to his significant other, and the rest of us had to ensure that whatever he's telling significant others, he backing
gets
up
it here
from us. So so obviously I think during the whole process, in fact, during the whole hospital process, the labor process, he kept letting me know every morning we would come to work together on the drive to work. He let me know, here's what's going on. My baby's about to be born, and the day the baby's born, he came with a lot of excitement. I was happy for him.
So you were part of his journey
100%.
of expectation,
Yeah.
and you were part of his journey of disappointment.
Yeah. So eventually, when he came to me the one day and he just broke out, it's like, listen, it didn't happen the way we had thought.
Yeah.
So me being through the whole process, I felt, hey, this is actually, it's our loss. It's not just
because you're part of it now.
Yeah,
that's what brotherhood is about. And
but
I wanted
it
to
did
ask,
take time to
what?
for you to heal.
Yeah, it took
For you.
Yeah, for me,
Yeah.
it took time. It took more than I thought.
Sure.
And it's evident because we're together every morning. We host
Yeah,
the
and
morning show every
you
morning.
know his personality.
100%. So
obviously-
energy levels, conversations,
Sure.
would speak. Normally we would have 10-minute links.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere our links became 5 minutes.
'Cause
And
he was
we
just
spent
not
most of the time
there.
playing music. Because I realized, listen, I mean, he's going through a tough time. The worst thing we can do is to put him in this position where
Sure.
he's forced to be happy, when
Yeah.
deep down he's not happy. So
Sure.
thankfully he took some time off. Took some time off to reflect.
That's good.
Went home, spoke to the family. I think speaking to his dad or being with his dad,
Yeah.
somebody that he was quite close to his heart, also helped a lot in changing his mentality, in changing how he thought, how he saw the situation.
Sure.
Yeah, it's loss is the
Dude, there is no recipe for loss.
There isn't.
There's a recipe for birth because there's excitement,
Yes, excitement,
but there's no recipe for death. And I want to find out from you guys, are both your dads still alive? Maybe start with you, Roberto.
Unfortunately, once again, another fortunate situation, but also unfortunately,
Yeah.
I never had the opportunity to meet my dad.
At all?
If I did, it was probably at a very, very young age, between 1 and 3 years old, and there I don't remember
Can't
anything.
remember,
Yeah, I can't
of
remember
course.
anything. So it was unfortunate that I didn't get to meet him because I personally feel I would have been different, but on a more fortunate side, I'm happy that for who I've turned out
Sure.
with all the fathers I've had around me because
Sure.
they've shaped me to be the character I am. If I had known him, who knows, I may have not been the same person I am today.
Sure,
So
sure.
it's a fortunate and unfortunate situation. But having seen how other kids grow up in a nuclear family, it almost gives you that need, that want to say, I wish I had that. I wish I wish
my dad could come and watch me play soccer.
100%. That's exactly where I'm leading to, because this past weekend I was at my friend took his son to go play under 9 football, and we're just speaking of how important family support is at that age for any child that's following any passion or any
Sure.
talent. How important it is, because that pretty much sets up the precedent for who you
It
become
does, it
at
does.
an older age. And not having that growing up, I realized, had I had a dad or had somebody understand,
Things could have been different.
Things would have been different. I would have been a professional footballer for all I know, because I would have known the support structure. But then again, it's I think it's fair to say it's probably God's way.
Yeah, it's bittersweet.
100%.
Because look at you now, running Bogart Radio. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah,
We wouldn't have AMATYMA series, maybe. You never know. There's always a silver lining in everything that we do. And then when Ronny, your dad is still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. Kid,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
He's a pastor, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah,
shout out.
Now you know why I'm
Pastor.
not the way.
Yeah.
Throw the pastor kids. The ones that
you
go
know
there.
that
No,
they're always off
stick
like
with
that.
stick with pastor kids.
Now you know why it's like that.
But it's different though. It's different
Right.
though. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, he's definitely there. He's in Polokwane.
Okay,
In
okay.
Moria. For those who know Moria.
Sure.
Uh,
So he's a pastor at
Yes.
ZCC?
Yes.
Okay, no. Shout out to your dad. Do you think fatherhood is something that every child needs, especially in the early years of their
Yes.
childhood?
100%.
Definitely.
100%.
Aye.
I've come across. I mean, TT, a very important concept or aspect of my life is I tend to experience things through other people's lives. A good portion of the experiences I've gained in my life has never been things I've gone through
Not been
myself.
firsthand,
No,
yeah.
100%. So when we speak about the importance of father figures in one's life, I've come across people that don't have a father in their lives, and some people that have a father where he's physically present but not emotionally present.
Sure, it's just
And
financially
100%.
there,
Sometimes
yeah.
not even financially
Yeah,
there.
sure,
They're just
sure.
they're just a father figure. They're just somebody there that says, "Oh, this is my father."
They're just a seed.
100%, just
Yeah.
a seed. And you start seeing the behavior patterns of these kids, and you realize, oh, you're actually behaving like this because there's no dad here. You're behaving like this because there's no discipline here. And you realize it from the back end, and you sit and you think, wow, I don't want my kids to go through
Sure,
this at any point.
sure.
They have to be emotionally, financially, physically available.
must be
for
there
them.
all
You have
round.
to be there all around.
Sure.
And I also want to add on to what Roberto is also saying.
Yeah.
To watch from other people's experiences. You know, I don't want to mention his name, but one of my
Yeah.
friends is actually quite he's quite old.
Yeah.
But also he's gay.
Okay.
But when he explained his story to me, because he was like, no man, if my dad was there, because his dad was a financial dad, like you said.
Yeah.
One
He
who
was just
sends
there.
money,
Just
but
spends
it's-
money on
but
new
it's
clothes,
not
but it's not there.
It's not there.
Yeah.
You know, because he was like, I became gay because of that.
So he became gay because his father was absent.
Was absent.
That's hectic.
And but you would send him all these things and everything else. Because even him, he told me that if it was come back to another life, my dad was there, I wouldn't be gay.
Sure.
Exactly.
You know, so it just showed me like, but these are the effects of the father not being there.
Sure.
Because he was like, my father would have taught me everything about man and manhood and and all those things.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to him, I'm like, wow,
Sure.
these are the effects of what a present father has.
Sure. I'd like to interview your friend sometime because, in as much
I
as
think
he's-
it'll be good.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
I want to
Also,
chat.
also remember the shows about us learning from each other. I mean, the fact that he says that he's gay because his father was absent is something that I would like to ask him, because then what do you say about those that are gay and they still had father figures?
Yeah.
And the fathers were present. So I don't want to judge as well. This show is not about us
No, it's
judging
not about judging.
people's
No.
opinions and their stances. But I'd like to engage with them to say, are you saying you blaming your father because you're gay? Because then there's another person who's
Because
gay
he was
who will
pretty
say,
blunt about it. Like, I think
Sure.
if it was like this,
it'll be different.
So with those experiences like Roberto is mentioning, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, I think just to add on to that, we also live in a world where a lot is being said.
Yeah.
A lot of fathers, once again, based on other people's experience, say certain things that they don't realize the impact that it has.
And the
on,
hurt.
the hurt it has on
Yeah.
their kids.
Yeah.
I mean, you might refer to a child as a street mate, for
Yeah.
instance.
Yeah.
And they'll look at you and think, but I'm actually not a street mate. But the more you keep repeating it, the
more
more
they
the
believe
more you
it.
start believing it.
Of
Start
course.
thinking, actually, wait, if you're going to consider me as a street mate,
Maybe I should
I might
be.
as well become a street
Yeah,
mate.
'cause you already think I am
Yeah,
anyway.
clearly, because
Yeah.
then we'll see what you can do about it.
Sure.
And then when that point comes, then it gets into a more toxic, abusive relationship. Whereas
Yeah.
you said this person has become that. Now you want to verify and affirm that this person is this, and then you continue poking thorns at each other
Sure.
throughout the whole
Sure.
the whole process. Which is why now the situation might be different.
Yeah.
For somebody who has a father that's present financially, may have driven him to become gay.
Sure.
But
Or
for
get into drugs.
Or get into
Yeah.
drugs or into
Yeah.
alcohol.
Yeah.
But for somebody whose father is there, but saying certain words, could have also had the same
Absolutely.
same
Absolutely.
impact. So like we keep saying now, I think that the importance of father figure, like you touched on, it's important to be an all-around father,
Yeah.
not just to be a father in facets that
Sure.
treat you as a father.
I like that.
What the world considers as a father
I
figure.
like that. When you say not what suits you, and a lot of fathers think I've just ticked the box. I've sent them money.
Yeah.
I bought them clothes for Christmas.
No.
I've done my bit, and they don't understand that. At that early age of childhood, kids just want your time.
Yeah.
They want to know that my dad is going to come and watch me when I've got my swimming competition, when I've got athletics, when I've got my public speaking. And these are things that we obviously take for granted because we're thinking, I'll just throw money into the problem and hope that it goes away.
Exactly. It's one of the things that I'm very fortunate enough that I get to film this show.
Yes.
Because I've realized that just being present. In fact, what the term present father means.
Yeah.
From the experiences that I've seen the men talk here,
Yeah.
I've discovered what a present father is.
Yeah.
I've seen men on other shows that say they were just fighting to see the child.
You heard the story about
Yeah.
Tumi Shomasha. Were you here, Roberto?
No,
Tumi Shomasha. When he was fighting for custody of his child for 8
I
years.
heard after the show,
Or you
yeah.
were busy that day. I mean,
That-
Ronny, you remember
yeah,
that? How
I remember
painful it
that.
was.
Yeah, how painful. I felt his pain.
Yeah, I also
And-
felt it. 8 years and he spent half $500,000 rands
Jeez.
just to get access to his daughter because he went through a divorce.
Almost every weekend.
Every
And-
weekend he had to. He even did a test that had to go overseas
Yeah, for like
for
months.
drugs.
But again,
And he had to pay for that.
And it's amazing.
Yeah.
Because he said no. As long as my daughter sees and say, you know
That
what,
I've done my bit.
that I was there and
Yeah.
I fought and I had the money.
Shh.
Money is nothing. He didn't have.
He didn't have.
But he went, with the little that he had, he fought for that.
Sure. And it was worth it, he even says,
man.
you know.
And I remember Benjamin Dewey was also here.
Yeah.
He also explained why you need to be present. That's another experience that he gave as well.
Sure.
You know, and I'm just shocked.
Yeah, it's crazy. You've seen Tato Chai as well. He was here and he spoke about how angry he was with his dad for committing suicide. So there's a lot to unpack. But from your side, gents, I mean, you guys sit here and you watch from the back of the cameras and you see what happens. What has been some of the moments that have touched you in watching what happens when I'm having conversations with these dads and fathers and men?
I think more than anything, it's what's said in the absence. You know, you'll find if there's a nuclear family that's currently going through turbulence and whatnot. In the absence of a parent, the other parent is obviously bad mouthing the other parent. So when the child looks at the father, looks at the mom, they'll sit down and think, are you really who they say you are?
Sure.
You know, and that's what I had gotten from most of the conversation of the gentlemen that were here. Is a lot of the issues was not the issues that they had created themselves as parents, or the lack of being a parent. It was what was said behind each other's back. Or, you know, your dad doesn't deserve to have you, your dad doesn't love you, or your mom doesn't care about you. Those kind of things leading to Timisho's situation. It didn't come up because Timisho was absent.
No.
It came up because of what was being said behind Timisho's back.
Because two people decided to part ways, and now the child is affected by their part.
Yeah, so now the child is caught in between a tug of war, which anyone can win if you say the right words.
Of course,
you know, it's a child. You put a lollipop on the child's lap. The child you've got them.
Yeah.
So you know that's what for me that's what it boiled down to is as human beings we tend to say things pretending as if we're in
the impact.
We all live in a glass house on this earth. 8 billion of us. Every single person lives in a glass house.
Glass
If you're gonna throw a stone, make sure somebody at least at some point in your life a stone is gonna come back thrown at you, and it's gonna affect you a lot worse than what you threw.
Sure, I like that. That's powerful. And then what has been some of the moments? I mean, we've seen a lot of moments here.
No, it's a lot of moments. The one I mentioned previously, I got to learn what a present father is.
Yeah.
And I just got to learn that, you know what, being a man is a serious sport.
Amen.
It is.
Extreme sports.
People say
it is.
that not only because, you know, NDODA, or all those things, it goes beyond.
It's beyond that.
Because the stories that I've heard here from beginning we shot this show to now, I've just discovered, you know, it's just good.
It's a lot.
Talk. It's just good to talk.
It's a lot,
and to come and talk and experience, share your experience.
Yeah.
And I believe, like, you know, when we come on to this platform, because I personally, I don't know, with my dad.
Yeah.
My dad is like I said, it was a very Christian home.
Yeah.
And I can't say he was there or he wasn't there because he had another family.
Okay.
And I was living in a different country. My mother in Zimbabwe, and my father used to live in South Africa.
Okay.
So I would travel. My mother would be like, no, go see your dad.
Sure. And just go. You just leave them and go to.
Yeah, I'll just go. Yeah, get on the bus in there because, you know, it's like close.
Yeah.
And I discovered why she was doing that.
Right.
After she had passed on, and I was growing up, because she knew it was very important for me to see him
and have a relationship with him.
I didn't understand why.
Yeah. You just thought she's just posting you away.
Yeah. It's like
she's trying to establish a relationship.
And I've only discovered, like, later years in my life, like, no, it was very important to meet this guy.
Yeah.
I would come there, my dad would be like, yeah, you'll be very happy to see me.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe I was the only boy, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why. But you'll be very happy to see me, very accommodative. Like, you know, there was no difference with home. I would just say, this is home.
And your other siblings stayed with him in South Africa?
Yes.
Okay.
So I had other siblings there, and I had other siblings there.
Sure.
So it was a very strange one because my dad would also be there that side. Because you can't spend 2 months there.
Right.
And then obviously I never understood because they would say he's going to church. Because when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So I never understood it.
And you could never question, I mean, back then, you couldn't question our parents.
Definitely.
Otherwise, you'll get a club.
Oh, yeah.
Did your dad ever club you?
No, we'll get a hiding, obviously. Obviously, man. I was also naughty, so.
Oh, you're a naughty child.
So, but I was little, like, I remember, like, I know, I was like.
You were just being a boy.
Way back, these things of saying, don't go play outside, go play outside.
You just want to test.
What would you do?
What's going to happen?
So, no, the same thing, we're like, don't play outside, go, when I come back, it's around 5, we'll find you outside, you're going to get a hiding, you know how type thing. So you had to, do all those. But the fact that he was there was a certain control.
Yeah.
Which was there. There were certain things that I would not do.
Yeah, there was authority.
Yes, there was authority.
Yeah.
And without him being there, I won't lie.
Sure.
Things
would have turned out differently.
Gone out of hand.
Sure.
A mother can be there.
Yeah,
but
when the dad is there,
The mother's there to nurture you. The dad is there to discipline.
My mother would discipline me when I was a kid.
I like that.
But when I was growing up, I could see, like, no, here, my dad's voice, I would always have it in my head.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
he can just come from nowhere.
Just come from nowhere.
Yo.
So that thing of me going to see him, I think I was a teenager now. That's when I used to most, because I could travel by myself.
Right.
And I could do, and my mother would send me there.
Yeah.
And I understood why over the years the bond that I have with him. Even right now, I can just call or talk to him, and he still calls me almost every daily basis. I'm sure you're Roberto. He's called me several times. I'm like, no, it's my dad. No, we're going to do this. Or maybe you call and shout at me because maybe I didn't pay my car license. I've got cars by his house, or something like that. But the fact that he's still saying, "Hey, Chief, you are disturbing me here,"
you're disturbing my peace.
It's just amazing.
Sure. Gents, I can't believe, I think we're out of time.
Even here in Joburg, we're definitely out of time. And I just want to say, even if I'm in Joburg, sometimes I ask me, what are you doing there? You don't have, because it's not like you got money all the time. You want to pay some things. I'm like, why aren't you paying for this? Or something like that.
Sure.
It's crazy.
Yo, gents, I knew this was going to be interesting. I told you I wanted to talk to you guys. I mean, there's still so much more to talk about, but I think as time we'll have you guys back, and I want to bring you guys back as individuals again, so that we can get to know you more. It's always nice to talk to people who are also behind the scenes. So that people understand that there's human beings. It's not just cameras. There are people behind that camera. Sometimes you'll find that when we shoot the show, there's movement happening, but that's because the people behind there want us to make sure that the show looks good, the mics are solid, but also that the conversations are flowing. And I've seen you guys come through and fix here, fix there, but just want to appreciate you guys as brothers, and I'm inspired by your brotherhood. I see how you guys connect at that level, but I also just enjoy working with you guys, and I think we all come from different backgrounds, and to bring 3 guys together into one space, 3 personalities, 3 strong personalities, it's not easy. We've had our tips in the groups and whatnot, but I think the most important thing is that we all want the best for our show. We're building this thing together, and it's going to grow to become the biggest podcast in Africa. You know why? Because we're dealing with issues that affect us men.
For sure.
And we need to, because in the conversations we've had, we've spoken about how a lot of corporates only focus on women and the girl child, which is great, but we need to push the narrative of the man, the poet man, the AMATYMA, that guy who's out there, who's looking up to us for inspiration. Any parting shots before I let you guys go? I'll start with you, Roberto.
Just to not continue this notion that men are just a figment of physicality or strength. We're way more than that. We do have emotional facets to us. We do have intellectual facets to us. We are more than just an aspect. We're more than just a tree. So I think in consideration of that, I would like to encourage men to be a lot more vocal, to be a lot more emotional about how they address issues in life, how they address issues about themselves. Moving forward, because we only have one life to live. As cliche as it might sound, we only have one life to live, and the better you live that life, the longer you get to live.
Yes, and just to add on to Rob as well, it is very important, especially for men, to understand this, what he just said. That it goes beyond. We do have feelings, ladies and gentlemen. Especially the gents. They need to understand, because they are the cause. I think personally they are the cause, because they don't understand who they are.
Feelings.
Yes.
Sure.
And I feel like because once they understand, because they'll go through things and a lot of things. So I just want to say, please do understand that you're also a human being.
Sure, that's a big one. Understand that you're also a human being. And gents, with that, I'd like to thank you for your time. And Sival, it took us a while to get here, but we're here. Gents, You were depriving me of this. You were depriving me of this.
That was quick.
Okay,
so quick.
but